Hello and welcome back to the Three White Men podcast. We're saving you, we're not treating you too much, spoiling you too much. Don't get to see me and Liam's pretty faces. But we are spoiling you this week with Jonny. Jonny's back, out of hiding.
Was the last time, last time I did this was before Barca? Have I done one since?
Possibly.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let me get it up.
Yeah. And we also have a very, very special guest flown all the way from Finland just for the podcast today. Our friend Joonas.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
And he's here after I took him to his first ever Premier League game yesterday. Watford Man City. We'll talk about that later, I'm sure. A lot later,
Yeah.
hopefully. But start things off, obviously, the season's finished now. And a couple playoffs still to go. Well, no, only one, isn't there? The Championship playoff.
League 2 playoff.
Oh, and League 2.
Just to interrupt, Jonny was here for the Swindon rant, weren't you? And that was after Barcelona.
Right,
So that was-
We like Tim Sherwood. And it's true.
Yeah, I've calmed down a bit now. I've finally come out of my room. Was that what you said, Jack? I've locked away in my room.
No, I only said your house. You went from room to room in your house.
Yeah, I've finally come out of my house after a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's come around our house now. It's just home to home. But anyway, talking about new homes, Swindon have found their new home in League 2, and so have Forest Green after a fantastic performance in the playoff final. The little club on the hill have made it.
No.
Technically, that's wrong because apparently it's in the official book it's Friendly Club on the Hill.
Friendly club on the hill.
But it doesn't really matter. We're still a
Friendly.
little.
Yeah,
club.
You want to be friendly?
It depends whether you want friendly or little. That's all because that's what my article is about.
Okay.
That I did on my thing earlier. But
No, I want to
Doesn't really
more
matter.
They
You
are
want to be
now they're battling the giants of Swindon Town and Coventry City in League 2, if you could believe that.
come on.
And Luton.
And Luton.
You got to travel to Luton. Oh, Luton fans are going to trash your place if they have to eat vegan food. They're used to chicken takeaways and like curries. Like honestly, like they are not going to be happy with that. But
That's gonna
what are
be
your
really
thoughts on your season, Liam, at Forest Green?
Okay, I haven't prepped anything, but here we go.
Well,
Well,
Speak from the heart.
yeah, exactly. I want to know how you
Good.
really feel.
yeah, really good because we've obviously got promoted, so that's quality. But it's a disappointment that we didn't win the league because on the trajectory that we were going on, I felt we should have been closer to the title than we ended up, which was because it was fourth for playoffs, then got knocked out by Bristol Rovers, then. Right then, yeah.
So we just had a fan invading the podcast, so they can't wait.
We had a streaker, but you can't see it.
See, I told you we had a go. I'm not making this up.
That was actually Jonny screaming, by the way.
Yeah, fourth place playoff, got knocked out in the first round. Then Grimsby last year made Wembley, got knocked out. So the trajectory should have been the title, and to be 10 points midway through the season, we'd gone on a 14-game unbeaten run, so it looked like it was really kicking into gear. And then they just did the classic thing to do with Forest Green, and lost those 10 points and ended up just getting the playoffs. But then to win at Wembley and to experience that of what we did two Sundays ago was something really special. And just the manner, because it wasn't this Sunday, obviously. And just to experience a 3-1 win at Wembley. And I remember saying when I went to Grimsby last year and lost, and I waited and watched the Grimsby team celebrate and the fans celebrate, and I was like, hopefully next year can be the same feeling. And it was. And so, that was quite special. So I think overall, Cooper's first season, we were expected to go up, and we have, so I don't think you can complain.
No. And I mean,
really
as someone who obviously I've only seen you a little bit from on TV from when you watched it, but you look like a very, very good team, and you played good football, and I think you'll definitely cause teams problems next year with just your attacking football and your good play. And if teams have got a weak defence, then they may struggle. And we'll use that to segue.
Before we segue, I think it's going to be really interesting with Swindon because they obviously have a very natural, if they keep it, your style of play of passing around as well, which I'm pretty sure they would.
Yeah.
Then I think it would actually, it's probably going to be a tighter game than most with Swindon because of the styles. compared to like a Cheltenham.
Might actually be some really nice football on display in those games. Yeah. And obviously, Mark Cooper said in his press conference where we went to that he can't wait. Actually, no, he didn't say it himself. The chairman said, Devin said that Mark Cooper can't wait to face Swindon again. He's excited.
Yeah, we're excited too.
Because you gave him his one Wembley loss.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a bit different. I think a couple of weeks ago, I said to Liam, I was slightly nervous to play Forest Green because we'd never really do that well in derbies. I think our best record is really against Bristol City. For some reason, I don't know why.
Oh my God, yeah. That's true. It was 5. It was 5-0 Cheltenham.
Our local derby record is not good on the whole. And but Power came out sort of a few days ago and said that we'll have the biggest, if not one of the biggest budgets in the league next year.
Ooh, that is big.
Which,
especially if Forest Green's got money.
Yeah, which
they're not only called green because they're vegans. Like they are making paper.
Big money. I think it's sort of renewed a bit of confidence. Maybe, we'll see. I expect big changes at Swindon. So if we were to play, the same team that was sort of there this year, we'd probably struggle. But there's going to be a huge change at SN1, and we'll see what happens next year.
Why do you think you don't do well in derbies? Is it just like a hoodoo thing, or do you think intimidation?
I don't know really. Just we've tried all combination of things. Like again, we only seem to do well against Bristol City. I think I've only seen them. I was at Bristol City about 6 times. I think we've only lost once. Again, Oxford, we haven't beaten them in 16 years or something.
How many do you actually play? When it comes to because that's the thing, you don't really play.
We usually have one a year.
Obviously, Cheltenham's was, but they're quite. I don't know. Like Cheltenham one was a cup game, wasn't it? So it's a very different atmosphere.
That was a freak game. It was also different because it was 0-0, and then we had Nathan Thompson wrongly sent off, and that obviously changed the game massively. But that was just. I think that was just a bit
next year we're gonna have 6 derbies in one season. So.
I'm slightly more confident than I was. I think there'll be big changes, and hopefully if they're the right changes, we'll cause teams a bigger problem. At the end of the day, we lost Oxford, I think, twice last time we were in League 2 and still ended up winning it, so I couldn't give a shit if we lost. If we lose all the derbies next year and still get promoted, it won't mean diddly, so we'll see.
I don't want to rub salt in the window because I'm just genuinely curious about this. Is this the first time in a long time that Oxford have been in a higher league than Swindon?
Where could I find?
Probably in recent memory, because obviously I don't think they've been in the
championship
since certainly since I've been going to that since 2000, and then whenever we were in League 2, they were in League 2 as well. I think both times. So, and I think the one time they might have been even in the conference. So
yeah, I think they've always been.
I think this might be the first time, but.
There's a target just for you to get bounce back.
Yeah.
But so do you think the shake-ups? Do you think it'll be good? Obviously, you haven't announced a new manager yet, have you? Obviously, rumours are spinning.
It's been a couple of sort of setbacks, so Power said, within the managerial search. But I think a couple of them. I mean, you look at any of the managers that we could get, you just think, no, don't want them. And as for being linked with Steve Evans, I probably would have considered supporting Forest Green if we had. No one wanted that. Steve Coppell, I think, was obviously ex-Bristol City manager. Wouldn't have been a bad choice. I think most Swindon fans probably would have taken their medicine and gone, do you know what, I think he might be a good choice. But he's ruled himself out of the job, probably because I don't think he particularly likes us. So,
just because, especially when you want to go straight back up, you want someone who's experienced in the league, whether they're your favourite or the best for the job. You get someone who knows the league, knows players, you can get in straight away, get back up, and then you might change from there.
I think Power said the sticking point is League 2 is it's a hard sell whether he's sort of given the new manager one of the biggest budgets in the league, and for players, some players might drop down because they want sort of a new start or whatever. So that's not a problem. It's the managerial side is proving a bit of a hard sell at the moment, being League 2. But
it's funny because then there was Mark Cooper actually had an offer with Notts County where he took them. He took control over half the season, got them up to survival, and the point he had a thing in his contract. If he got them to so many points, he'd be offered a permanent contract. But he then dropped down a league into the conference to take
But yeah,
Goes
but
green
the only
over.
reason he took that was because he knew he was going to get full control of the football. Because that's what he said in the conference afterwards.
Okay.
He was like, that was the deciding factor for me to drop down, was because Dale Vince went, the football is, all you. So that's why there were so many changes mid-season, and no one got too worried, because he was like, I'm trusting Cooper to get the players in, the players out that he wants to win us or get us promoted. So that was because he said he's never experienced that before ever at a club. That was one of the reasons. So yeah, so it's one of those things that if someone gave someone full control of Swindon, they'd probably be like, yeah, I'm
pretty Power said he's gonna let them have full control of everything. So
that should.
Yeah, especially like Power. I imagine Power says stuff like that, especially because a lot of his fans your fans are doubting him as well, aren't they? So
yeah, you do. I do wonder. I think I'll be lying if they said that. The thought hadn't crossed my mind whether he's saying we're going to have the biggest budget to get the fans back on side, because I think the season ticket sales are really bad at the moment. Now, I know even my dad's not getting one, and I'm sure this is the first year. This is the first year since we got it about 6 or 7 years ago that he's not renewing. So yeah, it's kind of tough times. I think it'll be slow growth. I don't think I mean, there's optimism. You'd like us to get promoted first time, but it might take a while this time. I don't think we'll bounce straight back like we have the last 2 times.
no, it will be slow, especially I think as well. One thing I've noticed, like since our time at uni, is you like getting players on loan from bigger teams like Chelsea, obviously.
Yeah.
And it might be a bit harder to get those, even though Chelsea have got so many players they could afford to give you a whole starting 11, to be honest. But it might be harder to convince those players. So you will have to look for talent and kind of just slowly kind of dig for gold.
A lot of that will come from as well who they get in as manager.
Yeah, if we get
it's true. We managed to get Woolery from Wigan, which is not quite the same as Premier League level.
Still, for that,
but it was because of the assistant coach. I can't think of his name now. Scott something. I can't think. Lindsay. He had worked with Woolery, and so he was able to persuade those players in. So it's kind of like that thing. Whoever they get in might bring someone in who's got the contacts.
Yeah.
I guess I can't avoid it any longer, so I have to go into Watford season. And disappointing finish. I mean, I'm not disappointed at all about the 5-0 result, to be honest, because I think I actually agree with Mazzari when he said that, even though it's probably his fault we're in that situation, but I'll get into that in a sec, about us having 6 centre-backs missing. I think most teams in the Premier League, we were missing every single set of their centre-backs, would struggle against Manchester City's attack.
Yeah.
I mean, they get through some of the best defences in Europe, so I mean, trying to Varami, Janmaat and Holebas, and I mean, Holebas and Janmaat do not defend much anyway. It was men against boys. It was the way that, like, it was complete thrashing. It was very much...
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and just
go
throw
for it.
something out there.
Throw it.
Maybe you might have struggled, you did struggle anyway, obviously, like you did, but I think it may have just been, I mean, things aren't going brilliantly at either end of the pitch. Was it just quite a good, handy excuse for Mazzari to go, well, we haven't got any centre-backs, so can't really defend?
Well, interesting enough, and I didn't know this, that on the day, when we announced the lineups, our Twitter posted one with Adrian Mariappa in the team first.
Go out during the warm-up, didn't they?
Yeah, and because he was supposed to be facing a late fitness test, and then all of a sudden that got deleted and taken down, and he wasn't even in the squad, and we had 2 goalkeepers on the... And I agree with a lot of people, like, at first I was like, oh, we haven't got the players, but then really I don't see why we didn't put more youth academy players, maybe even like a centre-back, just on the bench, just to have a defender.
Yeah,
rather than
most teams do. Like,
I mean, Reniger Martin's a fantastic guy and does a lot for the club behind the scenes, which is why he won a community award tonight as we film this. And he's a top bloke, does really good radio commentary, and he's a good guy to have. But putting 2 goalkeepers down on the bench, it puts you in the public spotlight a bit, and a lot of people see that, and it just kind of means we get laughed at even more. But I think the disappointing thing
when you've got a manager
actually,
outgoing,
yeah,
he's more like, I don't give a crap.
I would have put a lot more like youth players on. Like, I mean, they're sort of
we played free
league, but yeah, I know you had. But I'm sure you would have had the under 23s. If there were people that if he really wanted to make a statement and said a big middle finger to Deeney, he would have gone, I'm just gonna put like.
I think that was his biggest middle finger. His biggest middle finger was 100% leaving Deeney out of the starting team.
Yeah, just sort of put in like a load more. Capu's been awful by all accounts.
He is.
No one.
He has.
Just put in some others, like putting a centre mid from the. Give him a Premier League cap. Like
Capu and Yang are just. I can't wait for them to leave this summer. and like I really hope they both leave it. I like Capu is one of the best players I've ever seen in a Watford shirt. I can safely say that, but he just does not care for football. He doesn't care, and he won't. And Niang as well was incredibly talented, and to be honest, is one of the reasons we stayed up, because he got a goal and an amazing assist against West Brom. And that home victory is what took us to 40 points and why we just about stayed up, really. But his attitude, especially recently, has been absolutely appalling for a professional. Like, I mean, the Instagram comments were one thing about like commentating, like laughing, saying, "Thank God this is my last day at the club." On Decore's Instagram, pretty much was what he said. He said something along the lines of like Decore saying like last day of the season, let's go again, and then Niang put something like, "It's my last day ever," with like laughing faces, sort of thing. And then at the actual game, you just look at him, and all he did, like, he had a really close attempt where he does his typical cuts in and has a shot, and I think he kind of just went for glory and kind of just was there to put himself in the market. He never really cared for the club. He was very, you could just, when you could see him body language, and it wasn't like Ozil's body language where he's just not someone who actually runs. I mean, you're a winger, if you're not running, you're doing something wrong, aren't you?
Yeah.
But as I've heard from the Requiem podcast, they were saying, I didn't obviously hear because I was on the opposite end of the stadium, but in the Elton John stand, our youngster Brandon Mason was fantastic, by the way. For our youth, I think out of the 3 youth players, he was by far the best out of the 3 of them. I know he's the only one who started, but
He's
he does
played
look
quite
a cut.
bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's about his 3rd performance for us this season.
I've seen him sort of
He looks a cut. I'd have him happily as like a second choice left back next year, like on the bench as an option. He's solid, and he can go forward. But yeah, he told Niang to mark a player. City just had a throw in their own half, and like apparently called 3 times. The fans could hear saying, "And by mark him," and he just didn't bother, walks, and they scored from it. And it's just things like that. It's just he can pack his bags and leave. And I think
probably say that for a lot of Watford's squad, can he?
You can, but at the same time, I think Mazzari is partially to blame for that, because he very clearly cannot motivate the squad. If you travel to relegation form Hull away, who have a red card within the first 20 minutes, and your team still looks spineless and don't have any sense of urgency or any attack. It wasn't that we just weren't good at attacking. By all accounts, from what fans I've heard, like, we generally just didn't look like we were trying or really bothered or really going for the game.
Yeah.
That sort of thing is just unacceptable. And he's had a hard card dealt to him with injuries. Obviously, not just the centre backs like Pereira and things missing. And he's right to say that. Before we had all those injuries going into Everton, we were 10th in the league, but it was early on in the season, I think.
With the injuries, though, do you not think is there something wrong with the sports science aspect of the club? Because like surely all these players cannot be getting injured all the time.
We've put a hell of a lot of money into sports science with the facilities.
You said why that was early, didn't you?
Yeah, and that's actually down to Mazzari. If reports from what I think, this is me putting 2 and 2 together, but I'm fairly sure there have been multiple reports, especially in the last few weeks, of players, even Deeney, who, everyone knows that if Deeney's nothing else, he's a hard worker. And Deeney himself is saying he's tired, and from training, and that apparently training every week goes on an extra hour because of the translation issues for him to get his across. So like it takes an extra hour every day, and that's a hell of a lot. And he doesn't give players days off ever. And there's the whole argument of they're earning 80k a week or 100k a week. They should be able to play football with an extra hour. But when you're playing at the elite level, your body needs to be in good condition to play at the full level for 90 minutes, and that's why a lot of our players are getting tired. That's why a lot of players. Because someone said Yamat's injury prone, he's had a lot of injuries this year, but at Newcastle that's not true at all. He played nearly 80 games in 2 seasons, whereas this year he's had about 3 injuries. One was a freak injury. I mean, yesterday Sané ran him, it was yesterday, Sané just did him for pace and he tried Soyata to pull back, he pulled his hammy, But it's just, the level of fitness at the club, and I mean, when you're having that many injuries, I mean, 6 centre-backs, all the centre-backs being injured at the same time, or 1 suspended and 5 injured, there's either intentional just to give Mazzari an excuse for a bad performance, or most likely it's something wrong with his training and his coaching stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, everyone said Chelsea have trained super hard this year. Like all the Chelsea players saying in the interviews that we train really really hard all the time, and they've not really had that many. Well, they haven't had it because they use the least amount of players in the league.
But there's a difference between having intense training sessions for an hour.
Yeah,
and then
it should be for 90 minutes, isn't it?
And what I've heard as well, our training's very physical. A lot of players kicking and fouling each other, sort of thing, very full-blooded challenges. And I mean, when we had a freak injury with Mariappa and Yamat where they collided heads, and one had to have stitches, one Mariappa I think landed and hurt his shoulder, and like I think it's okay sometimes to be going full on, but apparently a lot of our training has been 11v11 matches and things as well, which obviously like takes a lot more out of the body. So yeah, there's things like that, and then all in all, Walter's just. I've defended him a lot this season, but he's just not a very likeable man. He's really not. He hasn't even Scott.
He's not connected with the fans, is he?
No, not at all. And he didn't even. I know the fans obviously don't like him, and it was a very hilarious moment where Joonas will agree with me, where the referee went to talk to Mazzari because he was going mad, or he swore. Apparently swore, and it must have been. So maybe he does know some English.
I think he knows English a lot better than he's letting on.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people saying that.
If people say like he hasn't been trying to learn English, that's a complete lie.
He must have done it to the fourth official.
Yeah, but
because the referee walked from the other end of the pitch to talk to him.
Yeah, and then as the referee went up to him, our fans started chanting, off, send him off. And I don't think, obviously, me and Liam, we were debating this earlier. I personally don't think it was malicious or us being like really disrespectful. It was it was an easy target, and it was just a bit of laugh, and the only real joy I think you could agree Watford fans got that day, wasn't it?
And it was a bit funny and absurd. I've never seen any
I
fans
haven't.
do that ever.
I just know, like we said, we had a discussion yesterday. Just keep it short. I just thought it was a bit sad just to see that kind of thing because he's already going out. So it's like, do you really need to just like? And it is clearly a joke, and maybe there it would have been a bit funnier to see. But just when I heard it on the radio, I was just like, give the man a break, man. Yes, he hasn't connected with the fans, but like, I don't.
No, like obviously I felt sorry for him as well, how things have ended. But then you can tell. I mean, our form's not been too different to last season with Kike Sanchez Flores, but the difference is, when we were looking at the replay of last season, we were watching earlier just before the podcast, there were flags and banners thanking Kike for what he did for the club. I know we reached semi-final, we probably had a more successful season, but really when you actually look at performances and form, we beat a couple big teams, but mostly didn't perform well with flat going forward.
Yeah, I think it was the way that you played this year, like, you were so boring. Like, it was so boring to watch. Like, it's like, I was sort of talking to Connor the other day, obviously another one of Jack's friends, a Watford fan, and we were saying, it honestly, as much as it would pain you and other Watford fans to say this, you almost look at Bournemouth and go, yeah, I'd probably rather play like that, because at least they always go out and try and win a game. Sometimes they get it wrong. Not a huge fan of Bournemouth, but
I respect their football so much.
Sometimes they go out and they get it wrong. Like, they go out and they leave themselves way too open and they get beaten because of it. But they go out and have a go, and they're just a bit more exciting to watch. They sort of whip the ball around, and there's a bit more intensity. With Watford, it's like that whole game you said, that should never ever happen. Like, you were just so bad. All you want is a bit of effort and intensity. If it comes out a normal, like a boring 1-1 or something, you think, well, we've gone away, we've got a point, and we've sort of had
make it say that, fair play, they dug in. But it wasn't even. It sounds like we made it easy for a 10-man relegation
as well,
team.
like every single time you were on telly or I watched you in highlights, you just thought, there's just nothing going on here. Like there was just nothing to describe like that.
And then Mazzari struggled to get his message across. So like, even if he did make changes, it was difficult for the team. If you watched, because I got to go to Chelsea, Watford, and you can actually, and we were really close to the dugout, and you see like. Amrabat's literally next to the touchline, and Mazzari is screaming at him, and he just ignores him and walks on. And it seems to be the case for all the players. They don't pay any attention. The
worst game for me though of your season was the FA Cup game against Millwall, because Millwall are just a terrible football team. Like they should. I don't know how the hell they got promoted out of the playoffs, but they are a dreadful football team. They've just got some average players. Like if they don't sign about 11 new players, they're coming straight back down. Like mark my, you can.
Yeah, I mean they weren't.
Mark my words,
we were just poor. But I mean, I guess it's one thing. Obviously, I've talked about the egos, and like I can imagine it's not a new thing for Premier League teams to not be motivated going to an FA Cup game. Games that have disappointed me are things like at home to Stoke, where Stoke are the away team, not playing well, and they just completely played us off the park for really no reason.
Stoke have a bit of an underwhelming season. Like they've just got.
They have,
I think they've kind of gone under the radar because there's quite a lot of other teams that have just been a bit.
A lot worse.
A lot worse. The league's not been sort of.
But no, there's things definitely. I think there was no choice but for Mazzari to go, and sadly things didn't work out. But can get excited for the summer.
Who do you get in now though?
It has to be Marco Silva for me. I'm so desperate to get Marco Silva, and then I hate this argument as well because I've seen a couple of fans go, "But Hull got relegated. Have you seen their last few games?" And it was like, we have, and this isn't me being cocky. This is genuinely Watford have at least 2-3 times much better squad than Hull do, and have had this season. We have even the, like, maybe not balanced, but if you actually look at the players and you think we've got the likes of Roberto Pereira coming back.
But you've got them like, if I were them, I would just, if I was Marcus Silva coming in, I would just clear house and start again.
But like not do too much, because I think we do sign 2 players.
If you can get a better squad in, like you've seen his home record for some reason is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he's clearly got a bit of something about him, so I think it would maybe that would not.
He's likeable, and he's young, hungry, and someone like you can get behind, and someone you can you'll give it a go. I think
he's because he used to be Olympiacos manager.
Yeah,
is that right?
I just personally love.
After listening to who was it that was on 5 Live, what was his actual
Scott
role?
Duxbury.
What's his role? Do you know?
It's very official. I get confused.
He was like director of football or something.
Yeah, something like that.
If you're going to keep that message of wanting to be higher
Chief
up,
executive and chairman.
yeah, if you wanted to be higher up in the league, which his message clearly was in that interview, was that we have ambitions of being,
which is fantastic.
Not just a solid, not just like a West Brom being solid. You clearly have ambitions to be as high as possible. If you get Marco Silva, he could bring. I'm trying to find his name on here. What's the winger? Grzycki.
Yeah.
If you got someone like him at Watford, he would turn you around completely, because that's the kind of player you need. Someone with a bit of pace, a bit of initiative, and not a bloody brick house. You'd probably it would change us, and it would help the likes of Cleverley and maybe even Capu, because then there would be other people doing the running for him.
Yeah,
I think if Capu got rid of his "I'm better than this" attitude, he could be better. Like there's too many players at Watford that you feel have got a "I'm better than this" attitude when they realise they're actually in a Premier League club.
Yeah.
And if they put some sort of effort in, they really this is the thing that gets me. Like you said earlier about what's his face, Niang putting himself in the shop window.
Yeah.
We've had a similar thing with like players at Swindon where you think if you really want to move on, I would play as well as I can to get a better club. Not sulk, play poorly, and then hope that a club looks at my form from about a year ago and goes, "Oh, yeah, he used to be alright. Let's hope he's still that good."
Yeah, I absolutely
That
agree.
makes no sense. Just surely you owe it to yourself as well to play as well as you possibly can and score as many goals or keep as many.
Even if it means you keep going on, maybe if you don't even play as a team player and you just go for some solo efforts or something, at least put in an effort and try.
Yeah, if you that's
and get the basics right.
That would make more sense if you're a winger and you started trying to take on every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah.
That would make more sense than just going, no, don't fancy it, passing it back to the left back or whoever whoever you are. Sort of.
If you think about it, what you do in a normal workplace, okay, I don't want to do well in here, and let's hope that maybe somebody picks me up and I get
I'm on floor 3 and I really want to go to floor 1, so I'm going to show how much I dislike the others here on floor 3, and they know how good I am. They'll take me onto floor 1.
I'll get headhunted. That just doesn't. I don't know. It's silly. One of the many nuances of football.
I absolutely want Marco Silva. I've said on previous podcasts I don't want Ranieri. He's a very likeable, nice man. But I think we don't need another manager who hasn't got a plan B.
How about David Moyes? He's just come available.
As I said, we actually have, as we said about the Scott Duxbury interview, we said we actually have ambition, so that's a no.
Okay.
Moyes is definitely no. I don't think there's not really any. Was it the Russian manager Slutsky? I think his name.
Yes, I love him. Oh, who's it? Igor? Is it Igor? What's his name?
I can't remember his first name.
I'll find it.
He was at CSKA, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and the Russia head.
He might be alright.
Fantastic.
Otherwise, there's not many candidates. Knowing Watford, it'll be someone completely new you haven't heard of, but has a good record.
It'll be an Italian that you've never heard of.
Maybe. Hopefully their English is a bit better. I still don't think that's the most important thing, but it helps. It's Stanis. No, that's not it. Leonid Slutsky.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but well, I've stopped being negative about Watford. It wasn't a great season, especially now thinking we finished 17th. Very embarrassing. I lost our last 6. I know a lot of those ties were hard. But Joonas, obviously your first Premier League game, and it was an entertaining. Not many people can say their first Premier League game was 5-0. But just generally tell me, and you could be honest about Watford being crap if you want. I'm happy for it. But your general experience, if you enjoyed it, what you liked, or what you realised.
I'll probably go into the game. I wasn't looking into the game itself, how Watford was going to play or how City was going to play. I was kind of wanting to kind of feel the atmosphere, and even going to the game, you already had loads and loads of people walking to the stadium, and you just never get that back home. You don't see, especially football games, you can't see them in the cityscape even on the match day of our Premier League or our Premier Division. So even that was already okay, this is getting really exciting. And then at the stadium or inside the stadium, 20,000 people or whatever was the
just over
capacity.
that. Yeah.
And even though probably the atmosphere wasn't that good as you got battered 5-0, but still the away fans were singing, your fans were at least trying to sing, and it's you should probably sometimes come to Finland and see a Finnish football game, and you would just see the difference why it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's amazing really, because I think it's something we probably all take for granted really when you just like, because I've always seen Watford, I've always complained about Watford fans because of how quiet and things we are, but the fact that like, at least we like make an effort and we do have still like 20,000 fans, or just under 21,000 fans against it turned up, and it is a lot. And you think as well of, like you said, like no one would ever travel the distance Man City travelled yesterday to come to Watford to watch a game.
Yeah, and as I said, in the train or on the train back, I would never go from my hometown to Helsinki, which is about 2.5 hours in the train to watch a football match. Whereas here we traveled to Watford, and I was straight away when you asked me that do I want to go, I said of course. Yeah. And well, also the point of that was that I haven't seen a Premier League game since I came to UK to study in 2014, so this was kind of my last chance. A bit last minute, but actually I didn't. Yeah, really, I just would have been embarrassing to come to study sport journalism to UK and to go home after 3 years not seeing a Premier League game.
All I'm going to say is you had a better experience of your first Premier League game than I did when I watched Watford Crystal Palace.
I'd say I'd go for St Vicarage Road as a nicer stadium than Selhurst Park as well, which is a big call, but Selhurst Park is both. We've improved the ground since you came like a lot. So that Selhurst Park is not a nice ground, and that's not me just because like obviously Crystal Palace and Watford have a bit of a history with Wembley. We won't talk about that.
But the atmosphere is also different, I think, in the English games. I was about a year ago in Berlin watching Hertha Berlin against Borussia Dortmund, sold out Olympic Stadium, so 70,000 people jumping and singing literally the whole time. Yeah. It was just, well, actually, as I said, I cried tears of joy because the atmosphere was so unbelievable. And I still think, I don't know, is it just the Germans, but they do something differently about singing and kind of being at the game or.
I mean, like usually you do with better home fans, you will have fans singing all game, and obviously the City fans sung a lot. But I remember you saying, Jonny, as well, when you went to watch Munich, that German fans chant differently. Where
they have obviously organised like the leader of the chants. They usually with the megaphone. The megaphones are and
technically you're not allowed them in UK stadiums.
Really?
Yeah. If you look outside or at Wembley anyway, they have like huge signs that say don't bring them.
And it's they chant more about the team as a whole, or like the club rather than about individual players. Like we have a different sort of mentality.
I think they also have like longer chants, whereas here, for example, I remember the City fans just chanting like "Oh, Kevin De Bruyne," and there's not like a, it's not like a song, but it's rather than just the name of a player. In like a melody.
Yeah, like ours are quite short, whereas you get like German, especially German and Spanish songs. I think Spanish songs are quite. I usually quite like listening to the Spanish crowds, but German songs are pretty repetitive, and there's the sort of the few lines that it goes on for a while. It's about 5 minutes for one song, whereas here you get literally Kevin De Bruyne, and then it's Guardiola, we've got Guardiola, etc. So
I can't remember what their pep chant was. They had a different one.
It's sort of different. But I don't know about the atmosphere over here. Sort of, I think it can be one of the best in Europe. I won't say the world because I think South America's unbelievable as well. But, and also some of the Chinese Super League, some of the crowds over there. Like watch that, and it's unbelievably organised. Like it's so cool. So
you could even say the US as well, because they've got
the US
they've got interesting initiatives anyway that keep the crowd going.
Yeah, like, they have some hits and misses, don't they? They have misses with like song sheets and things, obviously terrible. Then things like the wasn't it like we saw in video fake flares kind of thing.
Yeah, they have like the post. I think they're literally in a stadium that they then set off when they score and stuff like that. So it's just like it's just safety smoke or whatever. So then it has a visual sort of run.
Because I know like, flares are dangerous, and I don't like condone them, but they do look fantastic. They do look fantastic.
I think it's one of those things. If you can have a safe way of setting it up, and maybe an official way of setting it up every time you score, like but when you go like to when we went to Whitehawk and you've got people chucking them out the stadium, like then it kind of gets a bit dodgy because they're setting them off and they could hit people and stuff.
Yeah, I must also say that the only exception in Finnish football is now that the Helsinki derbies are back. There, the atmosphere is actually just like in Berlin. The only difference is that in Berlin it's 70,000, but in the Helsinki derbies it's 10,000. But it's a sold out thing. Everybody's chanting, or the fan groups
Big
are chanting
numbers.
all the time. But kind of the atmosphere, even though there are much fewer people, the atmosphere is pretty much the same. You get goosebumps anyway.
It's the intensity. I imagine.
That's the only exception. Other than that, yeah, there's not so much.
Well,
You've now seen a game in. Have you seen the Premier League gives you a Championship
Championship.
game and a League One game? Have you seen a League Two game yet?
I don't think so.
Next year.
We're all going to have to, aren't we?
Okay,
Swindon, Forest
maybe
Green.
we'll do a podcast from Swindon, Forest Green.
Yeah.
We'll have to go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I was going to say with because obviously ice hockey is the biggest sport, isn't it, in Finland? What are the crowds like for the ice hockey in Finland? Like, do they chant a lot, or do they just
Yeah, actually, it's
switch
a
out?
similar thing as to football in Central Europe. So we have like songs and chants which are, not the same, but the same melodies and all that.
I was quite
so,
impressed. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen one game, but like, I was really impressed with the crowd, and there was only like 5,000 people there, wasn't there? That
Well,
game
it's
that you
good.
saw.
It's slightly different because it's closed, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
because
closed
obviously it
stadium,
sounds
so-
a bit noisy, and it's just like even when they scored, it was so intense. I loved it. I really enjoyed that experience. So, and that was even just the Finnish league. So I mean, we're watching their playoffs at the NHL at the moment, and the crowds there are so like obviously it's completely partisan. Like it's just it feels like it's 99% the home team, even though it obviously isn't. But the crowds there, like some of the noises are incredible.
How's the NHL going anyway? How's your team?
Oh, my team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they are.
Oh, here we go.
They're 3-2 up in the best of 7 series in the Eastern Conference final, and they absolutely destroyed.
Joonas' team.
Who was it?
Jonny the
Senators. That was it. Oshawa Senators.
Jonny the true follower of NHL.
7-0 yesterday, and that was incredible. Great win for us.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just had to give Jonny something after the amount of time I've dragged on Swindon. So I guess we'll bring it back to the football bit, and one team we haven't spoken about who's supported here is Man United. And I'm guessing you don't want to say about. Do you want to comment on has United, because this has been a big thing anyway, is United's season a success or failure?
I swear we
with
seem to
Europa
talk
League?
about this nearly every podcast.
We have to, don't we? Man U, but
so I'm going to leave it till the end. I'll leave it till after the final, to be honest.
after Europa.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask you about. I don't know if anyone else saw this about Jose Mourinho. He's named Valencia captain for Europa League final, and he said Valencia is the best right back in football.
Pretty sure Danny Alves has something to say about
Yeah,
that.
that's
That's
what
just
I thought.
one first thought.
I think in terms of attitude and consistency, he is one of the best. And I hate him at right back because I still think he could be a good winger and probably have helped to score more goals this year with his delivery. But I think every time you watch him, he just does everything right. So I know you might say that, but if Valencia was at Juventus, I feel like he would match him, if not, just because he just knows how to. He's composed in defence, a bit like Dani Alves. Has great control, can go all game, and that when you're talking about best right backs in the world, that's what you want from them. You want them to be able to sustain for 90 minutes, constantly have a good first touch, be able to be patient on the ball and off it. So
I think he's
But-
really
So,
good right
Alves
wing
has-
back. Like I think he's like his attributes suit right. Like he's just
I
like
think he suits
he
right
just
back.
absolutely manages
better,
dream
personally.
though, isn't he? Because he just works so hard and everything.
Yeah.
He literally
He's very
does the
strong as
simple.
well.
He
He's
does
quick
the
and
simple
strong.
things right. Literally everything he does is right. You
Yeah,
just think,
it's just the
"Oh."
thing is though, it's because he's such a good team player, and it's like yes, he's a great, but he has so much to offer up front as well. Like when we used to, win the league, he was a crucial part of getting the assists or getting the goals or whatever. And we've lost that this year, and the past couple of years that we've been using him as right back, and I think
I've forgotten. Like
Yeah.
he might actually be unbelievable up front. Everyone would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I forgot he was quite
like
good."
he's not
Yeah,
he's not going to be
yeah.
he's not going to be like a I can say like a Ronaldo going to the extreme, scoring loads of goals, but he would definitely contribute more to the team than a Matter on the wing or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there we go.
No, another team whose season's been a bit up in the air and question is Arsenal. Finally didn't make it into the top 4. Sunderland got relegated and Arsenal didn't finish in the top 4, so something's gone wrong in the Premier League.
Finally.
We don't know what's happened.
Things
Things have gone different, but from what I can tell and what I've picked up from reading different media bits, it sounds like, and the general consensus from sources seems to be that Wenger's going to stay again for another season, even though he seemed to even take blame this year for the part of the league, and they even said the horrendous
He
atmosphere.
said the contract.
It was like the reason we did poorly is the uncertainty over my
Yeah.
future. It's your fault, mate. It's your fault.
Yeah.
You idiot. Yeah. I mean,
I think that's just an excuse because they mucked up. So he's like, oh
Yeah.
yes, how handy.
he thought the first thing. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
actually, that's my fault. I feel bad because obviously I don't really have an affiliation to a Premier League club.
No.
It's sort of I don't stand to gain anything from Arsene Wenger staying at Arsenal, but I think it's a risk. I think it falls under the Sir Alex leaving United, and it's like he's there. They'll always be up there, but they'll never achieve it. I don't think again because he is reluctant to change his ways. The problem is if he leaves, it literally is going to go one of two ways. They'll either start to challenge like Antonio Conte took Chelsea from there to the top, or they'll struggle like United and it'll take them years to
But
get
even
back
Chelsea
to
had
where
to
they
drop
were.
down first. And I think
Yeah,
that's what
so-
The
Arsenal
only thing,
fans.
I'd say is that he's got to the point now, especially that we've seen this season with the whole contract mess, that it is up to Wenger. So he should only leave if he wants to leave. I think he shouldn't leave. He shouldn't be sacked. He shouldn't be pressured to leave. He should only leave because he made Arsenal what the current modern Arsenal is in terms of the start of the Premier League and the success that they've had. And he could have gone to Real Madrid, he could have gone to Barcelona plenty of times when he had offers, and he chose to stay and push the club through the stadium change and keep a consistency within the club. So I think, yes, it's not going great, but it's not going great for United either, and they've changed a couple of managers. It's not been going great for Liverpool for a very long time. So
they're only getting back to now. Like I think next year, like they were so close this year. I think they would kind of get back next year. But
So,
it's taken
Liverpool
years.
needs him because I thought at the start of the season Liverpool would win the league. I thought they looked a cut above everyone. They looked.
I thought they would
fantastic
end up
going
where they are
forward.
now. Pretty much, I thought they would be like 4th or 5th.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm talking very early on, but I remember being very impressed by them.
only because it
fell off
was
a
only
cliff.
because Chelsea and Liverpool didn't have Champions League, as simple as that. So it's like
Yeah.
they should be 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Just
and
because
I think
of the-
as well Chelsea started the season poorly. They didn't actually. I think a lot of people forget that they were not very good at the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I think with so Liverpool and Man City were like in the same boat. I think I would probably. So you're looking at Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City were in the same boat where they were. If a few things had gone, there was just a couple of changes where they weren't like they were good, but in periods they were like good and then terrible, then good and then terrible. Whereas Spurs were just so good for most of it, and there was just like little things. If little things had been different, they would have won the league. There was there was real fine margins. Whereas Liverpool, City, and Arsenal, there were things that like serious things that could have changed. For instance, Arsenal would have been the manager. City need better defenders. Liverpool were just horrendous.
Man City look a totally different team
Just
with Company back, by the
horrendously
way. I know
inconsistent.
it's not even just against us, but when Company's back, they look completely.
And Liverpool just horrendously inconsistent, whether it was
Awful.
injuries to Mane or the African Cup of Nations, and they just it was like terrible, and then it was amazing, and they were beating the good teams and losing to the rubbish ones, and it was that was put them in that bracket, and then it was
that puts you top four, doesn't
there was just
doesn't bring you
United.
near
United you just
championship.
kept drawing every game, and then there was
Every
Everton. There
game.
was kind of somehow.
Then they
the
play their
seventh-
youth team. They get a win.
Somehow Everton were the 7th best team in the league,
Yeah,
and then everyone else was just a bit rubbish.
yeah, that was
That's
really. I was going to.
My Premier League review of this season.
Yeah, I
that's
think-
pretty much how it went.
I do think the quality of the Premier League this year, like we talk about like the top teams not being up to the quality of like rest of Europe, and we always say about like the Premier League's really competitive, anyone can beat anyone. This year it hasn't really felt like everyone could. It did feel like everyone could beat everyone, but it felt like more because the top teams are
Everyone was such
inconsistent.
Poor quality.
Most teams were inconsistent this year, and there's been so much crap.
I
I mean, the fact that Watford could have come between 8th and 17th with a few games to go says everything. Obviously, became well at the bottom.
At the end, but yeah.
But
Yeah, well, like we were saying earlier, that is the sacrifice English football has made to be quote unquote the best league in the world, because you might say that that's not, that's ridiculous that that's happened. But how many times in the season do you see little things when it's like there are 8 teams, potential for champions or whatever because of how close it is? Like, but it's the same whether you're thinking of top or bottom. It's that thing that anyone can get relegated, and anyone, whether it doesn't really matter how big you are, because everyone's got a large amount of money to be able to get any player they want really in English Premier League. So it's the sacrifice that fortunately that we've made, that English football isn't very good, and I think we're only just coming to realise that in the past couple of years.
It's just, I think everyone's struggling to find balance, because now all these teams in the Premier League are getting a load of money. I think everyone goes too far on that and goes and finds like tries to find a wonder player, and then you just really get unbalanced teams where not everyone wants to, like, you get someone who wants to be a star player, and then as soon as things are like, but then they're a star player maybe at their club, but they're not at the level they want to be, and then they get complacent, and I think that's probably the case for a lot of teams. But yeah, the quality this year just in general is not being
we say it's the best league in the world. I think it's the best league because it's usually anyone can beat anyone, and everyone keeps giving everyone usually keeps trying to the end of the season, but there's always the last couple of weeks that the professionals say that are on the beach kind of results, like,
or going to Ibiza before you win again, or Swansea did.
Well, they still managed to win, which is kind of weird, but everyone, there's those results that of like whole they basically, they're like, oh well, we're still a Premier League team, but all but in name. So yeah, I think it was not a great season for quality, and it was just I don't think it'll be one that you look back and think, oh, that was a great season. It's just everything was decided pretty much a month before the end. It was like, all right.
Yeah, pretty much. But talking about money and quality coming in, I'm sure it's going to be a very, very busy transfer window, as it always is in the summer. And I think it'll be a good one, because obviously everyone has loads of money, so it's always, I find the windows are huge. Even at the top of the table, a couple players who are possibly joining. Lacazette confirmed, he's leaving Lyon. Will be, I think, a fantastic signing for most Premier League teams. I mean, a lot of people say Arsenal, probably because he's French.
He's quite old now, though, isn't he, Lacazette? Isn't he like 29, 30?
Maybe. But, he's still got a hell of a lot of goals and pace in him.
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable for Lyon. I only saw Europa League.
He's only 25.
Is he only 25?
He's only 25.
My God. Someone needs to sign him.
He's
not that old.
No, he isn't. I've seen someone else. But yeah, if you're anyone in the top 4, he's definitely.
I think he'd be perfect for Liverpool.
An asset,
I think Liverpool need. I've been saying it a lot. Liverpool need a really good striker. Yeah. I think he'd suit. Is he
a striker or does he play on the wing?
No, probably either. I don't know. Any fast striker now gets moved to the wing, like Martial, which I hate because it's not what they do.
If Liverpool get another striker that can play in midfield, I think I would cry.
Firmino.
Well, there we go. But that seems to be the way, like you say, it is where it's going. They seem to just end up on the wing anyway, because nearly every Premier League team only plays with one striker these days.
Yeah.
So it's just that's why Martial's on the wing. That's why whoever's on the wing. It's just because there's only one space these days.
Yeah.
Nobody
plays at 2, do they? From Bournemouth and Burnley. So.
I'd like Watford to return to it, because I think that's when Deeney's at his best, when he's got a striker with him, or just any player with him, to be honest, would be nice going forward. But also, obviously, James Rodriguez and Griezmann both getting linked with Man U, of course. It'd be incredible if they signed both. And now huge news coming out that came as breaking news just before we started recording, that Griezmann said there is a 6 out of 10 chance that he joins Man United.
It's far too high for my liking.
You've got to like those odds. It means he's more likely to play for United.
Can you imagine this? We lose like Fellaini, and who else is?
Send Fellaini. I'm sure Fellaini
Matta's
not
terrible, but say we lose Matta as well, because he probably will go.
What? He said what?
Yeah.
Can you imagine swapping those two for James Rodriguez and Griezmann?
You've used Fellaini and Rooney for Lacazette and James Rodriguez. Right, cheers, mate. Cheers, Wayne. Thanks for your service. Sod off.
It would be quite cool.
I imagine a lot of that will ride on again if you win the Europa League.
It's like everything. Like Bale seems to look like he might be available this summer as well, because I think Real Madrid have had enough of his injuries. So it's like, United are linked with anyone anyway.
Yeah, so you will be linked with every single player who costs more than 50
But it's interesting that like Griezmann has his connections with Pogba, and so that's probably a more likely sale. And we were saying with the James Rodriguez sale that if they can do a nice deal like that with United, then it softens it up for when they come to get De Gea. But whether that's this year or not.
And then you'd be left. I mean, Romero, as we said, like Romero's a decent keeper.
Yeah.
I think he'd still be good enough for you.
He is a very good keeper. He's still a little bit unorthodox. That's the only. I guess De Gea at the start was a little bit unorthodox as well. So
we will not or cannot catch the ball. Sorry, like just.
He's okay.
Hey, that can work. Look at Gomez.
Well, I suppose.
What a player.
I think Romero's one of the. I think he's not like Mignolet bad. I think he's pretty good.
It's true. Also, Kylian Mbappe will be. Probably looks like he's going to leave. I'd love for him to stay in Monaco, to be honest. Yeah. I'd really like him to have another season at Monaco, but I don't see it happening.
Where would he go?
He's going to go
everywhere in Europe once.
I'm guarantee it now. He's going to go to Real Madrid and just kill his career, and it's going to make me so upset.
Nothing back for Bale. Bale goes to United. Mbappe goes to Real.
So there we go. This is turning out to be a lovely transfer window.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. And also, something actually I completely forgot about is the new ban on diving coming into next season, which is huge. But it's
yes, but it's not the ban, is it?
It's not a total. It's a really. I want to get you.
We will look after it on the Monday, even though it's probably going to be a Monday game. We're going to go through all of them and then sort it out. So
wasn't it? If it leads to a red, it's only be punished if it leads to a penalty or a red card. Isn't it?
It's literally. When have you ever seen a player get sent? Like it rarely ever happens that someone gets sent off the dive like a second yellow.
Yes, I think for things things like Fellaini Aguero with the headbutt.
Oh, right.
That sort of thing. If you count that as diving,
just do it for anyone who gets any card. Because if the referee's done his job properly, it should be a card for diving. If it's any card or free kick or let's say penalty that's given for diving, then they look at that and you just get a ban. Because that's the only way to stop it. Otherwise, you've got to be like zero tolerance.
It was quite interesting though that Jermaine Joonas was like, though, if it happens in a cup final, you've already lost the cup final. So like whether they get retrospective action, it still doesn't affect the match that could either get you relegated or promoted or
Well, I think it's just maybe it's really more about trying to stamp out the ideology in football and the general behaviour so that it doesn't happen in a cup final. If it happens in a cup final, then we'll just you've got to just stop it for the future. But it's all about stopping that attitude, that the acceptance that diving or trying to buy your team a free kick or a penalty is acceptable.
It's at that point where I don't know if it'll ever get rid. It's things like Suarez using his hands to save the ball on the line at the World Cup in 2006. Horrible, mean thing to do, but he sacrificed himself and it worked. And I think players would still be, even if there was really big bans or punishments for it, I think it happened less, but I think there'd still be players who would dive.
I think if it happens to that, I mean that was just it was a selfish act by Suarez, and he did it. Well, not a selfish act, but he sort of did it for the.
It was like pantomime villain for everyone else, but heroic for Uruguay.
Yeah, everyone. But
I found it kind of funny.
I think it's just annoying when players go and sort of just needless dives. It's so much. Yeah. Just so annoying. It's just annoying.
But it's one of those things. It's got to the point that if players don't dive, and then you're like, well, why the hell didn't you go down? You could have got a penalty for your team, and you've ended up just smacking it.
Well, there's a difference
was it in context he's been clever there? He's made the referee make a decision.
There's a difference between going down easily, like if there's contact and going down easily, and just a full face dive. Like if you go down with a bit of contact, then. Well, I mean, there's not a lot you can do about that because it's impossible to tell whether it was a genuine push or a foul. If there is absolutely no contact, then it leaves it in no doubt.
Yeah. But anyway, to finish things off, we'll have a quiz or two, as we always love a quiz here. I reckon Jonny will be good at this one. That's not me just being mean. I think you actually will be good at it. But it's can you name all the football clubs that have played in the third tier or lower since being relegated from the Premier League? There's 21 of them. You've got 6 minutes. So yeah, I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1, play. We've got 6 minutes.
Swindon, obviously.
Wigan's on there. Swindon is on there.
Oldham
is on there.
Barnsley
is on there.
Bradford.
Would Northampton?
Bradford.
How many there are all in all?
There's 21 overall. Northampton. I don't think Northampton have even been in the Premier League.
Wimbledon. I don't know if that would count as Wimbledon's or MK Dons, whichever.
Yeah. So the MK Dons renounced claim to Wimbledon history.
Yeah. Coventry.
So yeah, third tier or lower. So
Carl-
that's League. Obviously, that's League One.
Sheffield
isn't it?
United,
Sheffield
Sheffield.
United.
Leeds.
Leeds. There's one this season now. Been relegated from the Championship this year.
Who we had? Wigan. Did you do Wigan?
Yep.
Who's been in the Premier
Who
League?
got
Blackburn
relegated?
went down,
Yeah.
didn't they?
And they're
Yeah.
Premier League champions, weren't they?
Blackburn, yeah.
Yeah, Blackburn.
How many have we got left?
Blackpool.
We've got 9 out of 21.
Blackpool, yeah.
Blackpool. It's actually quite tricky for us. I think I got about 16.
Norwich.
I did it. Norwich.
Southampton.
Nottingham Forest.
Nah, Forest haven't been down to League One.
Forest.
Have they
They
not
have.
actually?
League One 2005 to 2008.
Who have been
Yeah.
in Premier League?
They've been in the Premier
One,
since
two,
they got
League.
relegated from the Premier League. They've been in League One or lower.
League One.
Who else has
We've
been?
got 13 out of 21.
Portsmouth.
Yeah, have to be.
Plymouth?
I don't think
They've
Plymouth have
not been in
Premier
the
League.
I don't think so. I'm just trying to think of people
Swansea have been. Oh no, since the
Since
Premier
they've
League,
been
so they've
relegated,
had to been
since
right,
they have to been relegated, then go low. Yeah, it's like Bournemouth won't be there either.
Who else?
Just under 4 minutes left. We got. You have got the years as well. There's a team who's been in
Right.
League One since
Let me
2016.
move over.
Yeah, have a look. Gather round, children.
Right.
So you got still got a few to go.
2016. So he's been relegated recently. Doncaster haven't been in the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't think Doncaster have. Doncaster.
Brentford.
Brentford.
Don't think
No,
Don't think
I
so.
don't know. I'm just throwing names out.
Yeah, you'd have to think of teams who've been big. Actually, yeah, I can think of one.
Middlesbrough. They've
I don't think
they've
they have.
been further than the Championship.
Who's it? Who went down with us this
Bristol
year?
City.
No, I've seen it. Wee, they've
You
never
got-
been.
oh, no, you said
Yeah.
Watford's not there either, by the way.
Just to be clear, Bristol City, Bristol Rovers, Oxford, and anyone else around us have never been in the Premier League. Reading might have been. No, Reading been down.
No.
No, not
League One. I think they only went down as far as the Championship. Southampton, Portsmouth, Bournemouth.
No,
Bournemouth
I
have
don't
only
have
been. No, they've only gone up, and then.
So I know a team. You think of like some big teams who've like not so big.
Maybe Ipswich, like older. So I don't think so. But
No, not Ipswich.
oh Christ, who's my first game? Stoke.
Have Carlisle ever been?
No.
I wouldn't think so. I'm just trying to think of League Two teams.
Oh, I'm surprised it's Stoke actually.
Yeah, I think I can think of two.
Oh man, we've only got 2 minutes left.
We have.
What's
So I'll
first
start
who
out
could
then.
That
we
was
get?
really annoying. That League One
Wolves.
2016.
I think Wolves
Oh
have
yeah,
been
Wolves
down.
came down because they.
Wolves came down for a season. They were the big team I was talking about. There's another one who are in the League One now. We're in the Championship and Premier League for a while. London team. Millwall's a shout. I'm not sure.
No, they've not been in the
No.
Premier League.
London team. Who have we got in London?
Playing red.
Playing red for. Playing red.
Yeah.
I don't know. QPR.
No, I don't think QPR.
QPR's
Oh
there.
yeah.
They're in League One 2001 to 2004.
Nicely
Long time.
done.
That was one I didn't get when I did this.
Team. Who's
That was a
red
long
in
time
London?
ago.
Play at the Valley.
Oh, Charlton. I
Oh.
forgot about Charlton. Yeah, I love Charlton.
Charlton.
Oh my
Got
God, that
17
League
out of
One's
21 with a
really
minute
good.
left.
Come on, who?
You got someone who's been in League One twice, 2010 to 2012, 2003 to 2005.
Wickham.
Who's it?
Oh,
Wickham.
we said all them.
No, I don't think so.
W's.
League One 2008 to 09.
That League One is going to really annoy me.
League One 98 to 98, 99, that's one.
So it went down last year.
Oh, I think someone you haven't got is Sheffield Wednesday.
I was going to say.
I thought I said
yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday.
I don't think.
I said Sheffield Wednesday at the same time I said Sheffield United.
Ah, sorry.
You.
Well, there you go. I gave you it anyway.
Yeah, flipping, what's it?
30 seconds
Wow.
left.
God.
That's racist. I find it offensive.
Come on.
I'm ginger. You got 20 seconds left. Someone is a team who's currently in League One. Just name League One teams.
Like Southend, Scunthorpe.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows. The pressure.
I don't know anymore.
No, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Not under this
One.
pressure.
Oh, who have we missed? Bolton
Bolton,
Wanderers.
Leicester and
easy.
City.
Leicester City and
Oh,
Manchester
no.
City.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
That's bad. Isn't it?
Bolton's bad, but I'd say Leicester and Man City's fair enough.
Yeah, I forgot about Leicester and City. Like they're obviously older ones, so not too bad. But that
Then-
Bolton one's annoying.
Bolton didn't do bad though. 18 out of 21. Average 85%. Average score is 60.
That's disappointing. I'm not.
Okay,
happy.
yeah,
That's really tough.
Have to be 100%.
Yeah.
Did you want to do your quiz, Liam, about the tops?
Well, I
and
just
season?
have random tops which I
Oh yeah,
I
just
haven't
name
put-
them. We'll see if we can shout them
I
out.
haven't put together, so
Yeah,
I
that's
might
fine.
have a bit of time here to find them. So let's have a look. Where do I want to go up? I want to go down. So most top corner goals scored in Europe's top 5 leagues this season.
They've put it in the top corner the most times.
Iron Robin.
Ronaldo.
No.
Is it someone?
This season.
Is it someone we've heard of?
Yes.
Mbappe.
Let me have a look. Which
Can we have a bit of
one's
a
in
clue?
Spain,
Okay.
2 in Italy, and I have no idea who that is.
Belotti.
Yes, that's one.
Oh,
He's
I
the
don't even
third.
know- I don't even know who that is.
Plays for Torino.
there's a Watford fan who absolutely loves him. That's on Twitter. That's on Who, sorry? Plays for...
Torino.
So
No,
Griezmann.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's top.
Yeah.
Well, they're all on 6, so.
And then
but
another,
this is the order.
another
Yeah.
Italian player, is it?
Yes, and then someone I don't know.
Who have Juventus got up front?
Higuain. No, is it Higuain?
Higuain,
there?
yeah.
Mandzukic.
Is it- oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Martin.
Is he
No,
there?
no. Cuadrado.
Oh,
I'm just
they've
gonna
got
look this
unbelievable
player.
front line.
Carlos Bacca.
No.
I would have said Sergio Ramos with his.
Sergio Ramos, God, yeah. Most last minute goals has been
And
Sergio
the
Ramos.
other guy's a German footballer. He
Who's
plays in
that
Germany.
called?
German in Germany.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright, is it
Oh,
the guy
German.
for Leipzig? I have no idea what his name is.
Thomas
Yeah.
Müller.
I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a couple more tries, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Well, who's the one in Syria? Where's he
Do you
from?
want to know? Napoli.
Oh, Mertens.
No.
What has it on
No.
Mertens?
Griezmann.
Mertens been insane. It's not Insigne, is it?
No.
Okay, I had to say Insigne because
I
I'm
don't know. My
right
knowledge of
about
Italian
Insigne.
football is horrendous. I don't know.
Who else have they got? They got rid of Gabbiadini, so it's not him. I love that Napoli team as well. Zielinski.
No.
Glick. Is he Glick?
Oh,
He
what's
wears
his name?
glasses.
Edgar Davids.
No.
Yeah,
Off the field. Off the field. He wears glasses.
I don't know.
No.
Is it? Does his last name begin with N?
No.
Is it the Polish
No.
guy?
No.
No, I don't know the Napoli player.
Hamsik.
Oh, for God's sake, of
Oh,
course.
nice.
And the last one's Mark Uta, I think. It's UTH.
UTAH.
And he
Yeah.
plays for Hoffenheim. And they all got 6. All the players got 6 in top corner.
You think they'd be more than that, wouldn't you? And they're like the bottom bins.
Let's have a look. Let me quickly scroll down. What do we
Well,
got
Liam
here?
looks Wenger out. Wenger in or Wenger out? What's the vote?
I think
Wenger.
I think he should leave on his own terms this summer, whether he wins the FA Cup or not. I think ideal just he wins the FA Cup and says goodbye on his own terms, because otherwise things aren't going to get any better.
No, it's going to get uglier. I think Arsenal are definitely going to struggle after he leaves, but I think it'll be a necessary evil, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think they need to have a season in
He
10th
doesn't.
or
He
something.
doesn't. After everything he's done for Arsenal, whether you like him or he deserves. All the Arsenal fans want. They want a new manager. You know, things move on.
You want the hope
They
of
want a
actually
new
winning
manager,
the league,
and they
don't
want
you?
to say goodbye to him. But they've still got a shred of respect left for him. And I think the way things are going, he's just got a. I mean, I don't think he's gonna win the FA Cup. The way that Arsenal have got no defenders, they've got less defenders than Watford. I think that's saying something. I just
I don't know if I'd even cast
they're
him
not.
up
They're
as-
not. I don't. They're not going to win the cup final. I don't think the way things are.
Yeah,
If they
Chelsea
do, it'll be a
incredible, aren't they?
miraculous effort, and they'll completely deserve it. Whatever happens, I think he should just say, "Like, I'm leaving. Thank you for everything," and move on, because I don't think things aren't just going to get any better from where they are.
Gomez has been breaking news. Gomez is player of the season for Watford 2 years running.
That's just something when your keeper gets.
That's a
better
joke.
this
He doesn't even deserve it this year. I love Herrera Gomez, but he hasn't even. He's not been. I'm gutted that's not said pro at all.
Right, I've got a new one. Who has completed the most take-ons than any other player
Adama
in the
Traore.
Premier League.
I thought
in
it
the
was.
Premier League.
It was though, wasn't it? It, like,
It
was
must
a
have been,
stat.
but it's
It
not-
was at one
Is he
point.
like second or something?
I don't know. I've only got the number one.
Eden Hazard.
No.
Is it someone like
Sorry, translate to the Finnish name. Take on.
Etienne Capoue.
try and
No.
dribble past? So
Okay.
if you're the defender, then I basically try and
Skill
take
out,
you
yeah.
on, basically. Yeah.
Who likes a cheeky nutmeg?
Victor Moses.
No.
Okaka.
Yeah.
after yeah.
Oh,
Sunday,
that was
yeah,
unbelievable. You
just-
beat at least 4
yeah,
players.
yeah.
4 take-ons.
What
Ah.
league? Oh, is it
No,
Europe?
you said
It's Premier
Premier League.
League.
It's
Oh,
Premier
Premier
League. It's in the
League,
Premier
okay.
League. Yeah, because I would have said like Neymar. Ooh. Coutinho.
Is it Mane? Firmino.
No.
Oh, we're so
I'm
close.
shaking my head if I don't say yes.
Pogba.
No.
Michael Carrick.
Good one.
Really Gomez. That's been really
You're
good.
not going to get this, are you?
Lee Sharp.
Lee Sharp.
Wilfred Zaha
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
with 144
Of course it is.
take-ons.
And he still got pissed off by a mascot.
Yeah.
Highlight of the season, I think, for Watford. Our mascot dived in front of a player because he kept diving, and he got really angry about it. And our mascot nearly got an FA fine.
Fantastic.
Hashtag I stand with Harry Hornet.
I'm just looking again. What do we have? There's another one here.
Another one.
Oh, that's
Another
nice.
one.
Antoine Griezmann's never won a major trophy.
And yet he wants to join United.
That would be perfect, hand in hand. Way!
We're doing easy ones to do
Too
this
easy.
weekend.
Too easy.
Who became the first player to be born in the 21st century to play in the Premier League? Happened in this week.
Angel Gomez.
Who?
Angel.
Angel Gomez. I'm calling him Angel
Manu
Gomez.
player.
United.
Man U youth player.
Oh, right. I missed that one.
He came on for Wayne Rooney.
Which teams
Fun.
did
Like-
Harry Kane score more goals than when he scored his final hat-trick in the final game?
Sunderland and...
Burnley.
we saw this the other day. It was... Oh, Christ.
It's Sunderland and...
Watford.
Was it Sunderland and Swansea?
No.
Nah, Swansea must score a few, right? Who's gone down with it?
Sunderland and Southampton.
No.
I thought
You're going the wrong way.
I thought someone beginning with S.
No.
West Ham. Who's the other team in the bottom? Who's getting relegated? I can't remember.
Come on.
Middlesbrough.
Yes.
Yeah,
of course it is. They
done.
could-
I thought it was
They
something
couldn't
else.
score in a brothel.
Thank you,
Oh
Joonas,
my
for bringing
God.
us
How
up.
did you forget? How did I forget that? That is
Yeah.
actually awful.
No, I
So-
genuinely I couldn't remember them because they've
Yeah,
been that
professional
forgettable this
football,
season.
yeah.
So Harry Kane got 29 goals, Sunderland got 28 and Middlesbrough 27.
That is embarrassing.
I'm amazed they got 27 goals. I imagine they found any goals.
That is embarrassing.
Shocking
Which
stuff.
brothers scored at the weekend both at the same time but for different teams?
Hazard.
The IUs?
Hmm. Do you know what time it was?
I have no idea.
No.
Was it surely before half time or after
It was
half
after half.
I'm pretty sure it was 52 minutes 30 seconds.
No.
Was it, I thought it was over. Oh, I don't know.
It was the 72nd minute.
Oh, right,
That's
it's
close.
further than that.
I was only
That
3
is-
minutes off.
when I saw that, that freaked me out.
That
It's
is a
like,
bit
That's crazy.
creepy.
yeah,
I like that.
That
so
is good.
weird.
That's a good
both,
stat.
both brothers scored at the same time. And I think one of them was their first as well. I think it might have been Andre.
I'm telling you, man, Leicester broke English football. When they won the Premier League, they just made weird things happen.
I love Johnny's guess. It was surely before halftime.
I
Or
thought-
after.
Yeah.
I thought it was like. I thought it was like.
We have a proper sports
Hey, look, on
journalist
TV,
coming
that's-
to
that's-
market
that's Angel.
here, so.
I thought it was like either 40 or between 40 or 50. You know,
I prefer
either
saying
side.
Angel, even if it is an angel.
Angel. No, there's only one
It's
Angel.
definitely Angel.
Angel.
Yeah.
No, it's Angel. I'm gonna call him. Just like it's Gabriel. Actually, no, it's actually apparently it's Gabriel Jesus, not Jesus. It's just not Spanish.
What's that?
I'm sure on that. Gabriel Jesus. If it's Jesus, because he's not not Spanish. Some are saying it's Jesus. I don't
I'm
actually
pretty
know.
sure it's still a Spanish speaking country, so it'll be Gabriel Jesus.
It's Portuguese speaking
Wow.
country, mate. Don't
Well,
follow
we've
Johnny.
finished
I'm not
with
giving your
this one.
Twitter handle out.
This is a
Same
team
tie.
one. Who finished the season unbeaten?
Man United.
Who,
No,
fin-
they
who
just
finished
draw.
the season? What, in just any
No,
one?
any league.
So
Yeah,
Celtic.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We'll just give them a Scottish shout out.
Well
just
done.
'cause we
Well done
haven't
to
done it.
Scotland for being the worst league in the
But
world.
But they became the first team in 118 years to go unbeaten. So this is when you think about.
Well, in Scotland.
No, I think in the league in Scotland. Yeah,
As I say, ignoring Arsenal of 2003.
Yeah. Scottish football's
I
terrible.
think what did I see? I think the last time they did it, I think the Oxo Cube was created.
Fantastic.
So I think that was something
What,
like
what a place to end that is.
Scottish football does not get more exciting
Oh,
than
yes.
Oxo Cubes.
Love that.
What a love. It's big stocks in Celtic at the moment. Hey. And Scottish football is a laughing stock.
Why don't we put our guns away?
Right
then?
about it.
Yeah, we'll put the guns away. No
lose
guns
all
firing
the
in
Scottish
England.
fans.
So we'll stop insulting people and call it a day. Call it a good night, everyone. Well, good night here. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Morjesta, Milt.
What he said.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was incredibly rude. What Joonas actually said. I apologise. No, it wasn't. No. And,
I said what he said.
there you go. And goodbye from our adoring fan Sam, who's managed to sneak our way back in. We need to pay security better.
Ah, this is a joke.
It's terrible. Right. See ya.
Saipa.
Moi moi.